I'm Liam from WrestlingPlus.com, and I'm here with the RWF's Mitchell Fatal, current Baron of the Legendary Seven. It's been a long time since I've been trying to get an interview with you. I'm finally so glad this could happen.
Me too, Liam. Really glad to be here. I love WrestlingPlus.com. They've been following us for a long time in the RWF. And of course, Mitchell Fatal's career. Liam is one of the best in the industry. Thank you for watching WrestlingPlus.com.
Bear with me, I'm just such a fan of your work. I'm a true fan.
No problem. Take your time, Liam.
So, you've been having an amazing couple years since you came back full-time, including obtaining the Baron of the Legendary Seven. Do you feel like this title defines your legacy?
Unfortunately, as much as I'm loving being the Baron of the Legendary Seven and promoting that title every day in and day out, unfortunately, it won't be the title to define my legacy. I truly believe, and as you know, and you probably agree with, the European title will always be the title that defines my legacy as a pro wrestler. I mean, let's just look at a few things here. It's been a long time, as you know, since I've held the European title. Former 5-time European champion in this company, but the European title was the crown jewel. And other guys have had it. But the fact is this, Liam, people are still, even though it's been so long, people are still talking about Mitchell Fatal and the European title. I mean, if that doesn't define a legacy, I don't know what will. Will people 15 years from now be talking about me as the Baron Legendary 7? I'm sure. But it won't be such a household thing to put the two things together and instantly think of one and then the other, which is the European title and Mitchell Fatal. So I 100% love the Baron Legendary 7. It is a true honor. It's a true legacy title. It's a title that has 5 past retired European championship, RWF championships in it. One of them being the old retired RWF championship, and it is amazing to have it. All titles I've had, including the Cruiserweight Championship in the RWF, which I had for almost 2 decades. And I love the Baron Legendary 7. It's been amazing, but it's all about that European title here in RWF.
So, of course, you've shown the Baron of the Legendary Seven honor while you've held this title, but you have brought up the European title here. And it's been a long time since you've had it, as you mentioned. 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Very long time. How do you feel about those who've held the title since and who are representing it now?
Well, let's just look back. I lost it to, as everybody knows, I was the first European champion in the RWF. Had it 5 times. Lost it 15 years ago to Dave at the 2005 Memorial Day Massacre in the main event, a true classic. What did he do with it? He took the title and he trained with it. Had this great, amazing, he got this amazing contract we gave him, and he failed for us on every, that is the RWF board, he failed for us on every aspect. Fast forward, the Amazing Hazen, he had it. What did he do with it? What do you think he did with it? He did what he does with everything. He endlessly self-promoted himself, put himself in front of the European title. He would always put himself in front of the title instead of the title being first. You always have to push that title, and he just couldn't get it. He couldn't comprehend that because, that self-centered, self-promoting, flashy guy that he is, he just couldn't get over himself and just be honored to hold such a prestigious title. Of course, then, let's not even talk about Zero getting it, that whole blundering episode. And then Wildman. Wildman's the current European champion. Great guy. I signed him years ago. Thought he was great. But the fact is this with the Wildman. Do you really think that I could somehow, if we rewound time and Mitchell Fatal just kind of went for that title against Wildman right now, do you really think that the Wildman would have got that title? If that title went up for grabs, do you think Mitchell Fatal versus Wildman for the European title? Absolutely, Mitchell Fatal wins that match every single time. Now, why don't I have the European title now? Well, I was put myself on the sidelines I was managing the board and everything else. You just don't find your way in the title picture, do you? So I like the Wild Man, but I don't think that the Wild Man versus Mitchell Fatal, he wouldn't have that title if Mitchell Fatal wasn't working his way back up.
So, with Mitchell Fatal being back in the ring full time, front and center, do you plan on getting that title back?
Absolutely. Like I said previously, I mean, the old cliche, it's not a matter of if, but when. But, I was managing the board for a long time. I was an owner. I was a booker. I was in everything in the RWF. So, to come back into full time, you just don't walk in and get the crown jewel of the company. You got to work your way back up. And that's what I've been doing the whole last couple of years, Liam. Ever since I've been freed up and the new owner came into the RWF, and I've been freed up from the board and booking and just able to focus on getting back up into the European title division. So as soon as I work my way back up, and that's what this whole thing is, the Baron Legendary 7, working your way back up. So if Wild Man still has it after this year's Massacre, watch out, Wild Man.
Oh, that would be the fight to see. That would be the fight to see.
Absolutely. Sell a lot of tickets.
For sure. A lot of people have been accusing you of mismanaging the RWF during the Zero Crisis. Is there anything you would have done differently?
Of course. Yeah, a lot of people have been critical of the whole situation. A lot of people, of course I have my critics on how I ran the RWF. But, tell you what, number one, I would have been sitting on those sidelines. I would have been pushing and promoting other wrestlers first. I would have sat there and watched while I let other people try to defend the company. And speaking of pushing and promoting, let's not forget, at the end of the day, Zero was going for the European title. The Amazing Hazen, this is the Doomsday Clock. If you don't know, Liam, I'm sure you do. I would have, at the Zero Crisis, I would have defended the company against Zero in a match instead of relying on the Amazing Hazen to do it. He didn't do it. He ended up losing the European title. The company went under. I wouldn't have relied on other people. I would have went in there. I should have went in there. I didn't. Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm back in the company now, trying to build it back up.
Okay. At Memorial Day Massacre Big Bang this year, you were going to be going up against the Amazing Hazen and defending the Baron of the Legendary 7. He has been probably the most vocal critical of you and is saying he is in the best shape of his life. A couple of questions here. One, have you also been critical of him, stating that you don't buy his new for the people good guy attitude?
Yeah, I mean, of course he's going to be critical of me. He's the Amazing Hazen. I'm going to be critical of him. Let's just look at some things with the company. Like I just spoke upon, him defending the company at Doomsday Clock, trying to keep the prestige of the European title. Of course, he's endlessly self-promoted instead of promoting the title. And he ended up losing to Zero. And then what did he do after he lost? He left. He left the company. He went all over, wrestled in Pride of the Mask, wrestled in Super Rise V in Japan. And while he was away gathering gold in other companies, and that is fine, Liam. That is fine. You want to wrestle in other companies? You want to wrestle for their gold? That's fine. But this is the RWF. Well, he was off doing that and endlessly self-promoting. What was happening here in RWF? We were building back up. Yeah. There was people like Urban Jump, Chad the Shad, Wild Man, Mitchell Fatal. What were we all doing? While the Amazing Hazen left and self-promoted, we were all here, trying to build the RWF back up, have it rise from those ashes. I mean, he's out self-promoting, and if he wants to go down to Pride of the Mask and wrestle Diablo Cutto for the Panama Canal Championship, that's fine. But seriously, Liam, do you not think that Mitchell Fatal could go to any of these companies too and get their gold? I mean, seriously, Diablo Cutto versus Mitchell Fatal, I'd have every title down there. Yeah. But this is the RWF, and we can't forget. When you think about the RWF, who do you think of? You think of Mitchell Fatal. You don't think of a guy like the Amazing Hazen who endlessly self-promotes. and endlessly comes back after we've been trying to rebuild it and put in all the work. He comes back in and he now wants title shots and he wants to self-promote and he wants to play the good guy in all this. Who's really the good guy in all this, Liam? The guy who comes in and is like, I changed my act. Or the guy who has been here, been in the RWF, pushing the Baron and Legendary 7, working their way back up to European title ranks. Who's been here? Me. Who's really the good guy in all this? The guy who has been here, or the guy who cut and ran when things weren't going so well for him? So of course he's going to be critical of me.
Speaking of being critical, how do you feel against them claiming he's in the best shape of his life for this upcoming match?
I have no doubt in my mind that the Amazing Hazen is in the best shape of his life. Because while he's out training, self-promoting, running around, dressing fancy, buying new sunglasses, while he is out trying to figure out grooming with that beard, while he is trying to do all this, what is happening night in, night out? Mitchell Fatal is here, night in, night out, getting beat up. Wrestling every night. You don't think we get beat up? You know we get beat up after every match. I am here every night. Wrestling. Working back up. The Amazing Hazen can train all he wants. But the fact is, Liam, I want the Amazing Hazen to be in the best shape of his life. I want him to be without a doubt in his mind that he's in the best shape of his life. I want him to curl all those weights. I want him to run a mile and think he's done a great thing. I want him to do all these things. I want him to be mentally ready to face Mitchell Fatal again. Because this is going to be the match that breaks the Amazing Hazen. This is going to be the match, Liam, that he lies awake at night and he can't get over. This is going to be the match that he lives with regret and despair, and he will never get over. Because he is in the best shape of his life. Why? And why, Liam? What do you think he'll be thinking when he's lying awake at night all alone? He's going to be thinking, why couldn't I beat Mitchell Fatal at my best? Because the facts are this. Mitchell Fatal is the RWF. And always will be. And he can go wrestle other places, that's fine and dandy. But I will always represent this company, and I will always be the one to put the Amazing Hazen in his place. So you can stop having that regret. Just listen to those words, Amazing Hazen.
Alright. Well, thank you for joining us, Mitchell Fatal, with WrestlingPlus.com. It's been a true honor. We're going to have to talk about getting some autographs before I go. But for the rest of you, we'll be seeing Mitchell Fatal against the Amazing Hazen at the Memorial Day Massacre Big Bang.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Memorial Day Massacre Big Bang 2020. Come see the current reigning Baron and Legendary 7 Mitchell Fatal as he leaves the Amazing Hazen in a pile of regret and shame. WrestlingPlus.com.